Hey everyone, just because I seem to get asked this a lot, I'm going to make a different video today about how I record my videos exactly. Now for starters, I use the emulator ZSNES for my, for the actual playing of the game. My older videos use SNES 9X, but that's not as good for doing playthroughs of games, mainly because it doesn't have like a rewind button, and I consider that vital. And ZSNES kind of looks nicer when you're on screen. SNES 9X does the save state, save load doesn't look as nice. So that's how I play the game on my computer. The program I actually use for recording my screen is called Cam Studio. It's not great, but it's free and it'll get the job done. One problem I've noticed is that the video and the audio always desync, like not just one's delayed, but like the video actually goes faster than the audio, or maybe it's the other way around, I don't remember. So that's something you want to keep in mind. I use a program called Corel Video Studio. I have the X2 version. I think I have an X3 now. I use that for fixing it, since I can change like the length of, or the playback speed of individual clips. It's really overkill for making YouTube playthroughs. There's probably something in Cam Studio that could fix that. I just haven't figured it out, and I have it working right now. So in mind if you want to do this. So when you first download ZSNES, well, let's just pick a random game. Let's pick the first game on there. This is, oh, audio. Actually, I'm not playing this. Why do I need audio? That's probably just going to throw things off. Yeah, so you notice the edges are kind of, like, blocky, and, you know, it's the SNES, so that's understandable, since it certainly wasn't the best graphical system ever. Certainly better than the NES, though. But anyway, if you want to change that, the way I have it in all my videos, and people are always asking me, how do you do that? What kind of ROM do you have? It's not a ROM setting. It's, you go to config, I think it's video, yeah, go to, and it'll start you on modes, but then you go to filters, and you check one of these. I use Super 2X SAI. And you can see that also changes ZSNES's interface itself. Like, that's without it, that's with it. I don't really use any of these other ones. But now if you look at it, you can see everything is more rounded. It's not blocky. And I really recommend you do that, because it makes it look a whole lot nicer just to play, especially a game as beautiful looking as something like Super Mario World 2+3. But also, I get annoyed whenever I see YouTube videos that have it off. It's like, it's one simple setting, just turn it on. So yeah, that's ZSNES. For anyone curious, these are what I have my controls mapped to. This is what works for me, so it's really up to you. I have A, B, C. Y is space. I have that for Yoshi's Island, because that's the control for his tongue, I think, and it's just easier. Like, I originally had that as V, but since I never really used the select key, I didn't think it was necessary. So yeah, and these are mapped to the up arrows. So anyone who asks me this, just watch this. So yeah, that's ZSNES. I think there's like ZSNES.com or .org where you can download it. And the other emulator that I use is is SNES 9X, which is not, well, it's good in some ways, but not in others. Like, I don't even know what game I have loaded here. Yeah, this may be one of my edited ROMs. And yes, both the emulators do sound. I just added right now because I figure you don't need sound, because this is about me, not the game. This emulator, it is like, it has an actual window, which is something I always hated about ZSNES. But yeah. And you can do the same thing here if you, with the smoothing, if you go to display configuration maybe, yeah, and output image processing, you want Super 2X SAI or SAL, I don't know. And yeah, I have the same control setup here. Like I said, the problem with the SNES 9X is it doesn't have rewinds, and that can be really annoying if you're going between the two emulators. Like if you use ZSNES for rewinds, then you press the backspace key, or that's why I have Rewind Map App too. If you press that key in SNES 9X and nothing happens after you die, that can be kind of disappointing. So I would recommend ZSNES just so you can rewind, and anyone who says rewinds are cheap, I say save states are even cheaper, but that's a debate for another video. One thing I do like about the SNES 9X is it does have a nicer load game like interface. ZSNES doesn't, and also it's better for TSs. One thing I like to point out, if you go to SNES 9X file menu, click on Record AVI, that's how I recorded all my TAS videos. So they're running at a solid 30 or 6, well I guess it'd be 30 for YouTube, but the SNES actually made 60 frames per second video. So yeah, that is the best way to get a recording. However, it'll cancel the sound on your any sound that's coming from your emulator itself, so you won't hear anything in the game, and the game will actually run slower. So I wouldn't recommend playing live when recording an AVI. I would just do it. I would do it when you're playing back a file, like in a TS run. And SNES 9X is usually good about not desyncing on the TS videos, although you've seen from my channel that it has several times, and that's why I dropped one of my TSs, and that's kind of why I stopped doing TSs in general, because the desync is really annoying. So yeah, and I guess the only other thing, and I might as well get rid of this now, I kind of overkill my audio too. I have like a whole mixing board, well not a mixing board, but like a small mixing board, which basically take my computer and my microphone, put them together, send them out to a speaker, which I have on mute, don't ask why, which then splits to a pair of headphones and back into my computer, which I can then record it in Cam Studio. I'm not going to go into that whole process, but really, you can accomplish the same effect with plugging a microphone directly into your computer and just turning your computer speakers way up, assuming your computer has decent speakers. So I wouldn't recommend doing something as complex as I do. And yeah, that's about it. Yeah, it's about all I have to say about how I record my videos. Hopefully this will stop the questions. That is how I showed how I do the smoothing, how I record the video itself, how I edit the videos. Yeah, I guess that's all I have to say. So thanks for watching.